University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello, the teams from St John's College, Cambridge, Merton College, Oxford and Edinburgh University are through to the semi-finals of this year's University Challenge. Both of tonight's teams have already won one quarter-final match, but lost another, so whichever of them is ahead at the gong tonight will take the last available place in the semis. The losers will have to wish them well through gritted teeth. Now, the team from Newcastle University have claimed the scalps of the universities of Sheffield, Hallam and Southampton and gave Bristol University a taste of defeat in their first quarter-final. Newcastle then lost, though, to St John's College, Cambridge, so we meet them again for their final bid to qualify tonight. Their accumulated score is 745. Their average age is 29. Let's meet them again.
Hi, my name's Jack Reynard. I'm from Leeds and I'm studying medicine.
I'm Molly Nielsen. I'm from London and I'm studying medicine.
This is their captain.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Noble from Newcastle upon Tyne and I'm studying for PGCE.
Hello, my name is Adam Lowry. I'm from Sunderland and I'm reading chemistry.
Now, the last time we saw them, the team from Fitzwilliam College, Cambridge, finished 25 points ahead of Emmanuel College, Cambridge in their second quarter-final, having lost their first to Merton College, Oxford. But they previously defeated Leicester University and Magdalen College, Oxford, in the first two rounds. That gives them an accumulated score of 700. With an average age of 20, let's meet the Fitzwilliam team again.
Hi, I'm Theo Tyndall. I'm from Backwell near Bristol, and I'm studying Russian and Arabic.
Hi, I'm Theo Howe. I'm from Forest Hill in Oxfordshire, and I'm reading Japanese studies.
And here's their captain.
Hello, I'm Hugh Oxlade from South Woodford in North East London, and I'm reading history.
Hello, I'm Jack Maloney. I'm from Harpenden in Hertfordshire, and I'm reading medicine.
Right, let's get on with it. Fingers on the buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. Terms in which sport may otherwise be described as a word meaning gradually grow faint and disappear. A hill in Boston on which a battle was fought in 1770.
Newcastle Noble.
Golf.
Golf is correct. These bonuses are on conveyances. Firstly, thought to derive via Portuguese from a Sanskrit word meaning bed, what term denotes a covered conveyance with two horizontal poles carried by a number of bearers?
Sedan. Sedan? Yeah. Or what? Was it litter or sedan? Sedan, then. Sedan?
That's a palanquin. Probably from the Latin for sit, what term came to be used in Britain from the 17th century for an enclosed seat carried by bearers? Its spelling is the same as that of a town in northeastern France.
Sedan. Sedan.
That is a sedan, yes, sedan chair. After which popular inland resort did James Heath name the chair on wheels that he invented in about 1750? It later superseded the sedan chair.
Is it a resort? Bath.
Bath chair, that sounds good.
Yeah? Bath?
Correct. Right, 10 points for this. Topographical paintings by the 18th century artist Bernardo Bellotto were used as a basis for the rebuilding of the historic centre of which European capital after World War II?
Fitzwilliam Tyndall.
Dresden?
No, you lose 5 points. Born in Venice in 1721, in 1767 he became the court painter to King Stanislav II.
Newcastle Reynard.
Berlin.
No, it's Warsaw. Another starter question, then. What five-letter adjective may precede the words force, friction, heating and bulge to denote a range of related gravitational phenomena, most often associated with planet-satellite or planet-star systems?
Newcastle Noble.
Polar?
No, anyone like to buzz from Fitzwilliam?
Fitzwilliam Tyndall.
Solar?
No, it's tidal. 10 points for this. Listen carefully. What Orwell feared were those who would ban books, said the US author Neil Postman in a work of 1985. Which other English novelist did he say feared that there would be no...
Newcastle Reynard.
Aldous Huxley.
Yes, it is. Well done. 3 questions on Tory Prime Ministers, in the words of the government's own website, gov.uk. In each case, name the person from the description. Firstly, condemned by opponents as complicit in a reassertion of royal power against Parliament, he was long regarded as a failure due to his association with Britain's defeat in the American War of Independence.
Lord North.
Correct. He has come to be regarded by some as a lost leader, with much speculation about what would have happened had he lived. These words describe which Prime Minister who died in office in 1827?
Canning. Yeah,
Canning.
Canning is correct. And finally, he enjoys the unfortunate distinction of being the only British Prime Minister to die at the hands of an assassin.
Spencer Perceval.
Correct. 10 points for this. What given name links the sister of Lazarus in St John's Gospel, an Argentinian concert pianist born in 1941, a US home...
Newcastle noble.
Daniel.
Nope. A US home economist... You lose 5 points. A US home economist convicted of conspiracy in relation to insider trading in 2004, and 2 of the first 3 First Ladies of the United States.
Fitzwilliam Tyndall.
Martha.
Martha is correct, yes. These bonuses are on curves in mathematics, Fitzwilliam. From a mistranslation into English of its Italian name, Versiera, what name was given to the cubic curve described in 1748 by arguably the first woman to achieve a reputation in mathematics in the Western world?
Versiera sounds like something to do with turning, but I don't know what...
The Witch of Agnesi exists and is a curve.
The Witch of Agnesi.
Correct. What polar curve of the form R equals B plus A cos theta was studied by Blaise Pascal's father and has a name derived from the Latin for snail?
Some sort of spiral. That was a snail.
Shall I just say spiral? Yeah. Spiral?
That's the limason of Pascal. And finally, a folium defined by the equation x cubed plus y cubed minus 3axy equals 0 is named after which French mathematician born 1596?
Oh, that's Descartes.
Descartes?
Descartes is correct. Right, we're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a typical representation of an electrocardiograph trace. For 10 points, give me the specific term used to describe the segment of the trace in between the red lines.
Fitzwilliam Maloney.
QT gap.
No. Anyone like to buzz in Newcastle?
Newcastle Nielsen.
QRS.
QRS, yes. Thank heavens for that. You're going to be a doctor, aren't you?
Allegedly.
Changes in the QRS complex are often key indicators for the diagnosis of various heart conditions. This time for your picture bonuses, 3 ECG traces of arrhythmias alongside a normal sinus rhythm. For 5 points in each, I want the correct medical term for each arrhythmia. Firstly, this arrhythmia is indicative of what common type of ischemia?
Nominate Nielsen.
It's an ST elevation myocardial infarction.
Correct. Secondly, identify this arrhythmia.
Nominate Nielsen.
That is atrial fibrillation.
No, it's ventricular fibrillation. Finally, I want the medical term generally applied to this type of arrhythmia.
Nominate Nielsen.
Is it first degree heart block?
It's tachycardia. Right, 10 points for this starter question then. There is no more to science than its method, and there is no more to its method than he has said. These words refer to which British philosopher born in Vienna in...
Newcastle Nielsen.
Francis Bacon?
No. I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Born in Vienna in 1902, he's noted for concepts such as the bold hypothesis and the open society.
Fitzwilliam Maloney.
Bertrand Russell.
Nope. It's Karl Popper. 10 points for this. From the 1870s, Indigenous peoples used the term medicine line to refer to which parallel of latitude. It was so called because of its perceived miraculous power to halt pursuit by US troops.
Newcastle Noble.
49th parallel.
Correct. Your bonuses are on battles described in poetry, Newcastle. Which battle is the subject of a poem by Michael Drayton published in 1627 that includes the lines, "Upon St. Crispin's day fought was this noble fray, which fame did not delay to England to carry"?
Agincourt.
Correct. "But what good came of it at last," quoth little Peterkin. "Why, that I cannot tell," said he, "but 'twas a famous victory." These words by Robert Southey appear at the end of a retrospective of which battle?
Trafalgar. Yeah, Trafalgar.
Trafalgar?
No, it's Blenheim. And finally, ending with the words, "We carved not a line and we raised not a stone, but we left him alone with his glory." Charles Wolfe's poem commemorates the burial of Sir John Moore following which battle of the Peninsular War?
Corunna.
Corunna?
Corunna is correct, yes. 10 points for this. Answer as soon as your name is called. What number results from multiplying the number of sides on a tetradecagon by the number of sides on an undecagon?
Fitzwilliam Maloney.
154.
Correct. 14 by 11. Your bonuses are on pairs of place names in which the final letters of the first name begin the second. For example, Clitheroe and Roehampton. In each case, give both names from the descriptions. Firstly, a town to the west of Salford after which a bakery product is named, and the island birthplace of the poet Sappho.
Eccles and Lesbos.
Correct. Rarely run together, I think. 5 points for this. A large town northwest of Manchester near the birthplace of the inventor Samuel Crompton and the island kingdom whose capital is Nuku'alofa.
Is that Vanuatu or what Lancashire towns fit with Tonga or Samoa? Or...
Well, it could be Tonga and
makes
just
sense.
anywhere ending in ton, in which
Bolton,
case...
Tonga.
Bolton, Tonga.
Correct. And lastly, a large town south of Manchester on the River Mersey and the capital of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Port of Spain
And Stockport. Stockport and Port of Spain.
Correct. 10 points for this. What Latin-derived adjective is applied to anatomical structures that survive in a degenerative form as a consequence of an organism's evolutionary history? Examples in humans...
Newcastle Nielsen.
Vestigial.
Vestigial is right. Your bonuses are on a sociological concept. Firstly, for 5 points, meanings of what verbal noun include the fact of being accepted or representing oneself successfully as a member of a different ethnic or religious group? The 7-letter word in question is the title of a 1929 novel by the US author Nella Larson.
I've no idea if you... Anything?
Pick a word, any 7-letter word. I don't know. Pass, sorry, we don't know.
It's passing. Secondly, passing and who's passing for who are short stories by which figure of the Harlem Renaissance? He's noted for the 1951 poetry collection, Montage of a Dream Deferred.
Anything? I don't know. H.G. Wells. No, the other one. Oh. Yeah, I can't remember.
Let's have it, please.
Pass, sorry.
It's Langston Hughes. Roxana, a light-skinned slave, successfully switches her baby for that of her white owner in Pudd'nhead Wilson, an 1894 novel by which author?
Never heard of it. You? No?
Sorry, we don't know.
That's by Mark Twain. Right, we're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you'll hear a piece of classical music. 10 points if you can identify the composer to whom it's usually attributed.
Newcastle Noble.
J.S. Bach.
J.S. Bach is correct, yes. Choose Ye Joy of Man's Desiring. That recording was made by Dame Myra Hess. She was very well known during the wartime for her concerts. She was less keen on recording. However, we have some recordings of hers, and I simply want the composer of each piece she's playing. Firstly, for 5.
Debussy? It's the composer one. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Debussy. Debussy?
It is Debussy's The Goldfish, and secondly, the composer of this sonata, originally for a harpsichord.
Haydn?
No, that's Domenico Scarlatti. And finally...
Beethoven. Yeah, Beethoven.
It is Beethoven, yes, his 30th piano sonata. 10 points for this. Which artist took Madame Henriette Henriot as the model for La Parisienne, otherwise known as the Blue Lady, a painting that was included in the first Impressionist exhibition?
Newcastle Nielsen.
Renoir?
Renoir is correct, yes. You get a set of bonuses on fossils this time, based on a distinctive fossil acquired by William Buckland at the University of Oxford. What name, meaning great lizard, was given in 1824 to the first scientifically described dinosaur?
Something Saurus. What's great in Greek? Megalosaurus? Yeah. Megalosaurus?
Correct. Fossils of the wolf-sized mammal Pachycetus were discovered in Pakistan in 1983. The configuration of the inner ear indicates that it was related to which modern-day animals?
Sounds ridiculous. I think it's sheep. Sheep? Sheep?
No, they're whales, dolphins or porpoises. And finally, which genus of gigantic sauropod was potentially resurrected from taxonomic extinction in 2015? The genus was originally named in 1879 by Othniel and March.
Shall we? I don't know. Brachiosaurus.
That's the Brontosaurus. 10 points for this. In 1913, Albert Schweitzer established a hospital in which present-day country? One of the world's...
Newcastle Nielsen.
Hungary.
No, you lose 5 points. One of the world's largest producers of manganese. It's slightly larger than the UK and is situated on the equator and the Atlantic Ocean.
Fitzwilliam Maloney.
Gabon.
Gabon is correct, yes. Your bonuses, Fitzwilliam College, are on Chinese emperors. In each case, name 1 year during the official reign of the following. Firstly, the Emperor Kangxi of the Qing dynasty. He was a long-lived emperor who welcomed Western learning and employed Jesuit missionaries at his court.
So the Qing is like 1650s to 1911.
So Jesuits was 1670, 1680 maybe?
Yeah.
1680?
I'll accept that, yes. He was 1661 to 1722. And secondly, Emperor Gao Zhong. He founded the southern Song dynasty after northern China was overrun by the nomadic Jurchen people. On his abdication, he was succeeded by his adopted son.
900s, or is it later?
Yeah, it's late, mid-ish 900s to about 1200.
So we try 960?
Yeah,
960.
960?
No, he was there from 1127 to 1162. And finally, the Emperor Taizong, the son of the founder of the Tang dynasty. He succeeded his father when the latter abdicated after less than 10 years on the throne.
Try 810.
810?
No, he was 626 to 649. Right, 10 points for this. With a groundbreaking experiment in 1801, which English polymath challenged Newton's theory that light was a stream of corpuscles? The simple experiment demonstrated...
Newcastle Noble.
Young?
Young is right. You get 3 bonuses on a metamorphic rock. The Delabole quarry in Cornwall is a source of which metamorphic rock? Usually developed from clay sediments, it cleaves into thin slabs with high tensile strength.
What? Slate?
Slate is right. Secondly, which Western European country currently accounts for the major percentage of natural slate used for roofing in Europe?
Spain? Spain. You don't happen with Spain?
No idea.
Spain?
Spain is right. Dating to the 1830s, which narrow-gauge heritage railway was built to transport slate to the coast at Porthmadog in North Wales?
I think I've gone blank. You got one? No.
Brecon Line.
Brecon Line?
No, it's the Festiniog Railway. We're going to take another picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a photograph of an actor better known in another context. 10 points if you can give me his name.
Fitzwilliam Oxlade.
John Wilkes Booth.
That's correct, yes. The man who shot President Lincoln, of course. He was himself shot dead a few days later. Your picture bonuses are 3 more political assassins who subsequently died at the hands of the state. 5 points for each you can name. Firstly...
No, I don't know.
Pass.
That's Charlotte Corday, who murdered Marat. Secondly, name this person from this sketch during his appearance at the Old Bailey.
Is this going to be John Bellingham?
Yes.
John Bellingham.
It is. He assassinated Spencer Percival. And finally...
Oh, Gavrilo Princip.
Yeah.
Gavrilo Princip.
Indeed, who assassinated the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. 10 points for this. Which figure in Greek mythology did Mary Beard describe as the limit case of tyranny and monstrosity? He was the brother of Thyestes, to whom at a banquet he served the flesh of
Fitzwilliam Howe.
Tantalus.
Nope. You lose 5 points. He served the flesh of Thyestes' own children. His father was Pelops and his son Agamemnon. Anyone going to buzz from Newcastle?
Newcastle Noble.
Atreus?
Atreus is correct, yes. Your bonuses this time are on women born in the 1870s and 80s. In each case, name the person from the description. Firstly, a co-founder of the Spartacus League who died with her colleague Karl Liebknecht during a failed uprising in Berlin in 1919.
Yeah. Rosa Luxemburg?
Correct. The business name of the Canadian-born Florence Nightingale Graham, founder of a major cosmetics company in the United States.
No.
Come on, let's
Well,
have
she
it,
can't
please.
have she was born in 1870. Pass.
Oh, sorry.
It's Elizabeth Arden. And finally, a painter and interior designer who was a leading member of the Bloomsbury Group. She was the sister of Virginia Woolf.
Vanessa. Yeah, Vanessa. Yeah. Yeah, it's Vanessa Stephen, isn't it? 'Cause that's a, yeah, Vanessa Stephen?
Yes, or Vanessa Bell, as she became. Right, another starter question now. William Collingbourne's lines, "The cat, the rat and Lovelard dog rule all England under the hog," refer to the influence of William Catesby, Richard Ratcliffe and Lord Lovell on which king whose personal emblem was the white boar?
Newcastle Noble.
Richard III?
Richard III is right. These are bonuses on words that begin and end with the same 3 letters. For example, entertainment and hotshot. In each case, give the term from the definition. Firstly, a single-word term for the descriptive study of landforms.
Yeah.
Topology.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah. Landforms. No.
Let's have it, please.
Sorry, got nothing, sorry.
It's physiography. Secondly, a drug that prevents or reduces the clotting of blood. For example, Hydrodin or warfarin.
Nominate Reynard?
Anticoagulant.
Correct. And finally, the process by which an atom or a molecule acquires a negative or positive charge by gaining or losing electrons.
Ionisation.
Correct. 3 minutes to go, 10 points for this. In pharmacology, to which group of drugs do macrolides, aminoglycosides...
Newcastle Nielsen.
Antibiotics.
Antibiotics is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on poetry this time, Newcastle. In each case, identify the work from phrases that appear in its opening lines. I need the poet and the 2-word name of the building or edifice in the title. Firstly, 5 long winters, soft inland murmur, steep and lofty cliffs and deep seclusion.
Wordsworth and Tinton Abbey, I think. Yeah. Wordsworth, Tinton Abbey?
Correct. Secondly, scarlet coat, suit of shabby grey and cricket cap.
I haven't come across that one. No. No. You anything?
Hang on.
Just try to guess at something like.
No.
No, sorry, don't know.
That's Oscar Wilde's The Ballad of Reading Gaol. And finally, Carnation and the Pink, Poppy and the Pansy, and Tunnel of Green Gloom.
Is it? Yeah, but there's no
Come
building
on.
there, is there? Sorry, pass.
It's Rupert Brooke's The Old Vicarage, Grantchester. 10 points for this. In linguistics, what specific term describes pairs of words that differ by a single phoneme? For example, ship and sheep, fast and first, or tree and three?
Newcastle Reynard.
Half rhymes.
Nope.
Fitzwilliam Tyndall.
Are they allophones?
No, they're minimal pairs. 10 points for this. The islands of Zanzibar and Pemba are major producers...
Fitzwilliam Maloney.
Tanzania.
I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Are major producers of which spice, consisting of the dried buds of Syzygium aromaticum? Its common name...
Newcastle Lowry.
Cloves.
Cloves is correct. These bonuses are on a triangle. In the 13th century, the Chinese mathematician Yang Hui described a number triangle. In Europe, this triangle usually bears the name of which 17th century philosopher and mathematician?
Yeah, of course, Pascal.
Correct. If 1, 1 is the second row of Pascal's triangle, what is the 7th row? Come on, let's have it, please.
1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, 1.
Correct. Drawing lines through the shallow diagonals of Pascal's triangle and adding the numbers on each line together produces what well-known sequence of numbers?
Square numbers? I didn't hear. What you adding? What you adding?
On the diagonals.
Yeah, triangle numbers. Yeah. Triangular numbers?
No, it's a Fibonacci sequence. 10 points for this. Which river appears in the names of the French départements whose capitals are Le Puy, Saint-Étienne and Nantes? And at the gong, Fitzwilliam College, Cambridge had 65. Newcastle University had 205. Well, Fitzwilliam, it is perfectly reasonable to go out in the quarter-finals, and it's been a pleasure having you with us. Thank you very much. Newcastle, terrific performance. Some very, very impressive maths there. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. I hope you can join us next time for the first of those semi-finals. But until then, it's goodbye from Fitzwilliam College, Cambridge.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Newcastle University.
Bye.
It's goodbye from me. Goodbye.